This is Kitzur Yomi as you begin. Simin Chaf Dalid, the halachos of a Sefer Torah that has mistakes. Sif Aleph, Im Nimsa Sefer Torah Possul Machmas Ta'os. There's a mistake. Im Utayis Kamer, as we're going to have to define in Kayrim Ba, Yutrichen Sefer Torah Acher. Says the Kitzur, Izeh Utayis Kamer, Kigoin. Sheyaser, there's an extra level, a chaser, a mixing level. On his chalif afilu oisachas, one letter is switched. V'aldezem mishtana akriya k'mai taimim. It says teumim migirsheyem migirsheyhem v'aval bi she'apir shushave. Even though the meaning is the same, ba mikol makom kivusha kriya neishave. It's not read the same. Havitos kamer. The Tais is in a way that it can still be read as if it was written properly. But it changes the explanation. You can read rachba as a rachbai. The way that it's written, Rachba is Lamaisa Atayis. So even though you could theoretically read it Rachbai, but Lamaisa is, since the way it is said is Rachba, therefore it's Tayis Gomer. Avigamkin Tayis Gomer. Aval. If the mistake is in a way shena mishtana, doesn't actually change anything. Like we have Libirshki Gain, Bimakshach Liyos Avoisam, Bivav Achar Abiz, Alav Abiz, Vav Tafmum, Nimsa Belevav, I Behepech, Bached Makshach Liyos Male, Yod Shimushes, Kion Avoisichem, Nimsa Chaser, Yod is no Yod. I Behepech, Yoyes is Ein, Moiti Sefer Torah. So if the mistake doesn't actually create a difference, it's a yod, it's a vav, not in a way that creates a difference, then you don't take on a new Sefer Torah. If you change Sefer Torah, you don't know if the other one's going to be any better. Aval, if it's missing a real yod, except your e, below yod acharatov. Oy, al tira Avram, ksiv tira. Felt a yod in between the top and the reish. And of course, these are complicated halachos. This is why we have seifrim that ensure the kashus. Nimsa teva achas chaluk of a word is found divided. Achinir kishtayim. Oshinis karvu shtei tevos. Two words are written close together. V'niras bachas litinik to a child, as we're going to see in Sefei. Oishem Namsa Teva Yisir is an extra word. Bein Shi Teva Zara, whether it's around the word Shein Kamekam Klal, Beishach Teva Achas Kfula, or rather the word is written twice. I'm Sefer Kesas Sefer Madur Tinyan of Chulu. Chenim says Shinoi Besuras Habarshios in the passages Kamsucham Makamstuma, the pays and the ayins. We're supposed to be open, it's supposed to be closed. It is not. Istuma Kamsuach. Then you have Sig Parsha, break, Makushay Notzarach, Makushay Lios have Sig Parsha, Ve'inai, Kolelu, Psulim, Gemurim, Sheikh Loisi Sefer Torah. So that's our second level of Possul Gomer. Sif Gimel Nimsa Shen Nidbaka Islois, if two letters are touching. So Im, near Shen Glachar Aksiva, let's say it looks like afterwards when they got connected. There's a piece of ink that fell on top of it, Kasher. Sefer Torah is Kasher. Now, note 16 points out that, of course, you should correct it before you read from it again. But once it's there, you're allowed to read for it. As long as it doesn't mess up the actual letters. Aval. Near Shenikba came, if it looks like it's connected with Shas Ksiva, Azayishchalik. Shem, Nidba came, if it's connected to Shenikba, before the letter was completed, Gon Nun Pshuta, Shenikba Mem Seras Beregel Taf, came connected to Chadaima Possul. During the week, you could scrape it off and finish the letter, allow freedom to separate it. then it's kosher and you'll need another Sefer Torah. And again, these are complicated halachas. At least we're just getting a little familiarity, understanding that the letters can be connected, that the letters can look connected, and different forms of the letters being connected. Sif Dalit. Nimsa Oishef Sitzurasa. If a letter is found to have lost its form, Bein Shaya came with Chilas like Siva, Bein Shanase Achar Kach. Al Yidei Nekev, there's a whole Possul. Sefer Torah is Possul. Avol Mitzay Nekev Toich Ois, within a letter. Ay Mechotz Lois, or outside a letter of Ois B'Tzurasa, and the letter is the same, but there is a hole nonetheless. El Sheina Mukav Gvil, which is not surrounded by parchment, meaning there is a hole, but lemaisa, the letter is still recognizable, just not fully blacked in. V'nikar, shegem nasa achar ksiva, kosher kimshas ksiva, yamukav kveld, when it's written, it's fully filled in. Kovzat yomi is eyes, if the ink flaked off, inu shacha karoi, pas. Im yishavi beiza oisef, hey, shemayin suraz aleo, this goes back to what we said in Beis Gimel. If you're not sure if the letter is appropriate, Marin, that's when you show a Latinik Shein Lechacham Latipish. Hainu Shein Mavin Es He doesn't know exactly what he's reading, he just knows the letters. Avli Yodea Mavin Es Oisios. So Im Karoi Karoi. Ksheira, if he can read it, it's Kashav Lapsula. Vematinoikis Bechulakim. Let's say you ask multiple children and they argue about what it is. Holchan Acharoiv. Vidavka Shad Misupakim, if we're Misupik. Moil Latinik. So Kitzur here is teaching us to lumdis that we don't know if it's recognizable, and the kid says yeah or no, then he's just confirming what it is, and then we rely on the kid. We see that it's not good. If the yod of the aleph, or the yod, meaning the actual little point, separated, then Possul. The kid could realize that that's the letter. If R-I-C, this is a mistake that many people make, to think, oh, I see, it's a problem. Let's check if the kid agrees. That is not correct. The kid is only utilized if the adults are misupik. And Sivav, and with this we conclude, Shemar and Latinik we do not have to cover Oishal Achav, the letters afterwards, have Oishal Fanav, Noigin the Chasais, one should cover up so the child doesn't know what the word is. In this case, Ois Benekev, if the whole letter is broken by a hole, Venisha Miksasa, Gamin and Nekev Ulamata, Vanim Misupakim Yish Ba'is at a Nekev, because you're not sure. So Chazal Chel Shalmata Venekev, you got to cover up the other part. Because the mind will automatically include everything that it sees. So the area with the hole, you got to knock that part off and see if the rest of it you could read on its own. A little bit of the impression of the letters, you got to cover it up. So that the mind doesn't automatically connect it. You have to see, is this area a letter by itself? Pick up from here.